Hey YouTube, what's up? Got to get my face in here, my handsome face for the algorithm. Oh, they love this. But we are here today to talk about my favorite pistol, probably of all time, the H&K VP9SK. This gun is so good. I am literally buying the same exact gun this week. How often can you say you've done that? Where you were so happy with the gun, you went to go buy the same exact gun in the same exact configuration. I don't have any other guns that I've, purchased like that. This would be the first one. And part of it is just because I'm getting such a great deal on the pistol. And part of it is just because it is so damn good. And I feel like it's kind of a rare opportunity. H&K is a brand that is known for selling to military and police, and that is all they care about. They don't care about us dirty civilians and what we want. So typically when you come across H&K, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I used to see H&K things, I would click off. Like, it's that is just not going to be worth it. It's H&K, it's gonna be outpriced, and I feel like H&K came together and they made a gun, not for the common dirty civilian like me. I think they actually made this gun to stick it to other gun manufacturers like Glock, Sig, all of them. They made this pistol to be like, look, ours is better, and oh yeah, we're going to make it cost just as much as your pistols. And that's what's mind-blowing about it, because when you think about H&K, you're thinking it's going to cost double or triple. To give you guys an idea, an AR, a Daniel Defense AR, which a lot of people will tell you is a little outpriced, you can score one for $2,000, okay? If you want the HK version of that, it's like $5,000 or $6,000, and that is typically how H&K is priced, no matter what they're doing. Take the premium price of something in that market, triple it, and that's what you're going to pay for the HK variant of whatever you're looking at in that market. So I was just kind of used to that, and for a while there I was dodging H&K every time I saw it. I didn't even want to see it, because it is what it is, right? They do make amazing things, and I could never knock them for that. Like, I don't like HK as a brand. I have to respect them. I have to respect the craftsmanship and what they can accomplish. When other manufacturers just aren't doing that, and honestly, they might even be taking a loss on this pistol, I don't know, just to sell it for the same price that, you would buy a Glock for. We are talking about right in the $500, $5-something range. And that's what a new Glock is going to cost you, $575, right under $600, something like that. So I started seeing the VP9 around, and I was like, holy cow, the price. This is actually close to what other manufacturers are selling these things for, right? And along the way, I found one that was really cheap, and I couldn't believe it. I called about it, and I met this guy named Len. I call him Sensei Len. He has since become my H&K dealer. I think what was happening was H&K was putting these guns out to compete, and gun dealers were getting these guns, and the dealer price was around $500. And they would just say, hey, mark that up close to like $1,000, because people are used to seeing H&K cost so much money. And I think for a while it worked. People were buying these HK pistols for close to $1,000. And just to give you an example, I can go online right now and find a VP9SK used on sale for $699. So $700 for a used version of this pistol, just like mine, and I scored mine for $550, and I'm going to be getting my other one for, I think, $525. So shout out to Sensei Len. Get that other pistol ready, because I'm buying it this week for sure. Along the way, I even picked up an HK VP9 match, and that is all thanks to Len. If I couldn't get like a fair price on these things, I just wouldn't be doing it. So that's how I feel about this pistol. Now, what started all this off? The Classic Firearm channel was rating handguns, and I noticed that the HK was in there. They rated it a 23 out of 40. 23 out of 40. The Daniel Defense Hudson 9 pistol was rated right next to it at like a 22, and that gun was a complete flop. That thing failed. It had so many problems. It was a disaster. So I just think that's bullshit. And I've been racking my brain over this. I'm like, man, the 3 firearm experts over at Classic Firearms gave my favorite carry pistol the worst score ever. And for a minute there, I was like, am I tripping? And today a video came up by Honest Outlaw. Okay, Honest is even in the name. And Honest Outlaw will tell you that it is a damn good pistol, one of the best, and it is one of his top ranked pistols. No surprise. So let's go ahead and take a look at mine now. I think I've spent enough time giving the algorithm all the money shots it wants. Here we go. So here is what we're talking about here. The most affordable thing that H&K makes, honestly. I would guess, just because this is an H&K, that they would want $1,000 for this pistol just based on how they're priced. But no, this is coming in to compete with Glock, with SIG. I've been around the market. I have tried all these other guns. I've racked them. I've messed with the triggers. I mean, this is just kind of what I do. I go to the range every week, and I've been able to shoot a ton of different guns. This is one of the best out, and that's going to be really hard to argue. These come with cannon grade steel, so a higher grade of steel for the barrel. The barrel's amazing. The ergonomics on it are great, right? You got just enough of these slide grooves right here to get a good grip, but it's not over the top, super aggressive. It's not going to catch on anything. It does have these little rack assist things, these little ears on the side. And I gotta say, I have carried the hell out of this thing. I've dropped it embarrassingly a bunch of times because I'm used to carrying a heavier pistol. When I take my shorts off at night, sometimes I don't realize that this gun is still hanging on my belt, and I'll drop it. As a result, I have managed to bust off one of these ears right here. No big deal. Does not affect the actual firearm. I also side carry this, and I've recently been noticing just how much I use my right hip to open doors, to hold doors open, because I'm constantly scraping this thing up against everything. Aside from that, it has never failed me. This gun's never had a malfunction. She racks smooth. There is no slide kiss marks on my barrel here, and that is because this gun is calibrated so well for 9mm. I have pistols that are easier to rack than this, and they have a weaker recoil spring, and then all of those pistols instantly start getting marks right here from the slide slamming into the top of the barrel, and that's just because the springs aren't strong enough. So this feels like a really tanky gun. It is a heavier slide. It's got that heavier spring. It is perfect for me. I have bigger hands. This has the full-size grip that I need to comfortably shoot a 9mm. This thing is actually about the same outline shape, size, as a SIG P365. It's just thicker. And for somebody like me, that's perfect. This fits my hand so much better than any P365. If I held a P365, my thumb would be pressing on the mag release button. And that's not an issue with this because H&K's, apart from being, you know, ambi friendly. So if you're wrong-handed, right, you have your slide release right here or right here. For the rest of us, the magazine release, it's this little paddle system, and that's just absolutely awesome, especially if you have bigger hands. So I'm a huge fan of these paddles. There's no going back, right? Not for me. I love that about this. I don't have to worry about releasing the magazine when I'm holding this and shooting it one-handed. And these things shoot one-handed very well. This is just a great grip. This is the little magazine I rock with it. It's got the little pinky slot right there. It's a really nice lockup. My FN has a magazine like this that sticks out a little bit and gives you more purchase, and that thing, it kind of moves around. This one does not. You know, when this mag is in this gun, this does not move at all, and I get a very solid, tight lockup everywhere. And that's just how HKs are made, right? You also have, again, the Canon grade steel for the barrel. That is absolutely awesome. This gun also comes with a hot chamber. There's a little button in here, and mine came out when I busted this pistol and I dropped it. But pretty much when you rack this pistol, a little dot pops up here, and it tells you that your pistol's actually racked. It's not going to tell you if there's one in the chamber, right? You can have an empty magazine, you can rack this pistol, and this little red dot will come up here and tell you that it's, you know, it's racked. Personally, what I would do is I'm just going to go in there with like some glow-in-the-dark paint and just put a little dot in there for where that red bead was. And that's about it, though. That's about the only thing that I could do, I feel like, to improve this gun, aside from going around the edges here of this post with some glow-in-the-dark, just so I can see this back post or this little block outline when it's dark. The front post is awesome. Nice big green dot, easy to see in the dark. This is some kind of paint that HK uses. It charges off of light, and then when you pull it out in the dark, you can see it. It's not tritium, but then again, I could always get different sights for this. I could get tritium dot sights. It's really nice to get something like this that works so well for that price, and then you can upgrade it. You can add things to it if you want. We do have a little rail here. Personally, you won't see me with any pistol lights, any pistol flashlights. They're just not enough for me. I feel like they are a waste. Personally, I keep something like this with every pistol, because you're only going to get 150 lumens out of a pistol light this big, and in my personal opinion, the only thing that's going to do is get you killed. But that's a different topic, a different video. I'm just showing you guys kind of how I carry mine, and like, this is it. I haven't really had to do anything else to it. You know, I carry it in the stock configuration. H&K makes everything so good. They do all their processes so tight that everything just works out flawlessly. I haven't seen any rust, anything like that on this pistol at all. I have other pistols in the armory, and oops, well, the coffee's not going to hurt it. I have other pistols in the armory, and I do see some rust and stuff on them. That's never been the case with the H&K. Still don't want coffee on it. There. This is what happens when you're looking through a camera. This is all I can see. I can't really see out here, but I know my coffee's there now. Anyway, yeah, this I think is worth talking about, because I don't think a lot of people even realize that something like this is feasible to them, right? A lot of people are just going to think H&K, that's $1,000 pistol. Actually, no, it's half of that, and it's just as affordable as a Glock. And I feel like a lot of gun tuber channels are not giving this gun the justice that it deserves. So that's what we're doing today. We're serving up some vengeance, right? Hey, shout out to Honest Outlaw. It seems like he was actually honest about this one. Classic Firearms, I lost some respect for you guys. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie, right? As far as I'm concerned, this gun's been out for like, what, 8 years now, something like that, and it has not been outdone. And it's probably the common man's best chance at getting a high-grade pistol for an affordable price. I mean, this is the most, how am I going to say this? This is the most budget high-test pistol you'll ever buy. And so I think they're awesome. Get them while they're around. Get them while you can for that price. You can find them. Obviously, if you want the optics cut on them, they cost a little bit more. But hey, I'm being honest with you guys about my price. If I can find these for a little over $5, so can you. I've actually seen these for under $5. Palmetto State Armory got their hands on a batch of these that they were liquidating. They came in at $4.80, so under $5 for this pistol. Now, it wasn't exactly this one. It had the sand color brown instead of this dark, dark earth tone peanut butter brown. I've heard people call this the HK brown. When I first got this gun, I was calling it my platypus HK because it looks like it was put together from two different pistols. This has actually grown on me. This color, you know, it's beautiful to me now, and that's part of the reason why I'm buying another one from the same guy, because I know it's coming from the same batch, and I will get the same earth tone dark color. But the ones that PSA was selling, they were like a lighter brown. It was like a sand color. Either way, it was the same pistol, right? It was the same exact pistol, just a different shade of the brown on it. And that is the cheapest I've ever seen these. And that's probably the only time I've ever really seen these on some kind of liquidation sale like PSA. I check that site all the time, and I can only count one time where I've actually seen these things on there getting liquidated like that. So you can find these for a great price. You can probably even find one for cheaper than what I'm paying for mine. And I think everybody should know that, and know that this thing is out there just in case you want to go out there and get yourself a pistol. It's so hard to beat this. Really, everything on it. We haven't even talked about the trigger. The trigger is a big deal for me. This absolutely dumps on a Glock. The trigger is so much better. You have, it feels like a two-stage. You have stage one that gets you to a wall, nice and easy to get there, and then it breaks like glass. There's, you know, there's no other way to describe it. They do have some spring kits to take like a pound or two off the trigger pull. I'm not pursuing that. You know, I'm running it like a Glock. I'm leaving it stock, because this gun performs so well, and the reliability factor of it would keep me from swapping springs out. I mean, even if they are springs directly from H&K, and I know they make a variant over in Europe for like their match pistol with lighter springs. I feel like you would get a lighter trigger pull, but at the end of the day, a gun with more spring tension is going to be able to operate under harsher conditions. And for an EDC gun, that's one of the most important things to me. So, you know, out of all the pistols that I have, and I have quite a few, anybody that's been around the channel knows, this is the one that stays to my side. This is the one that I carry on me at all times. And I'm getting another one. So that should give you guys an idea of how highly I think of this pistol, even though I don't like H&K. Let's be clear on that. I don't like the brand. I'm simply forced to respect it because of the craftsmanship and how genius the stuff that they're making is. I don't know how else to explain it, but I wanted to put something out there about this because some of the other channels are kind of misleading about this pistol. They're marking it lower than the other brands that are probably sponsoring them, and I don't do that shit. So I needed to get some vengeance for this VP9. And one of my favorite things about this, and I'm embarrassed to say this, okay, so the VP9SK, this actually has my initials on it. I don't know exactly what VP stands for. Somebody said that it's like the common man's pistol or something like that, but VP is my initials. So yeah, I'm gonna be biased. Like, this gun literally has my initials on it. It was effing meant to be. And again, I think that they made this gun just to stick it to the other gun brands, and we should fully take advantage of it. This might be the only affordable HK thing in your life. So, you know, look into that if you're shopping around for Glocks and stuff, because this kills the Glock in just about every which way possible. And there's no reason to try to upgrade or do anything. You are getting the complete package. The magazines are so awesome. These are some of my favorite magazines. They feel great. I have no complaints. Literally no complaints, other than maybe some upgraded sights or just some glow-in-the-dark paint and 10 minutes with a little brush. And this thing would be a 10 out of 10 for me as far as a daily carry, you know. So have an awesome day, everybody. Thank you for all the support, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe, everybody. These things will help you out.